mean, what would that have meant for Netherlands if they had them down at 21 for 2?
This will hopefully be the drop catch here, Mel, and it's almost like a catching practice one, isn't it? The one that the coach hits you before the game. Opening the face, just as simple as they could. It was almost too simple.
And maybe that was it. I don't know. It's amazing, isn't it? We see these players pull off incredible feats in the field, and then the same player will drop one that they wouldn't drop 99 times out of 100. It's
come so slowly to him as well. They're like, you almost think as though Scott Edwards could have kind of come across and just taken it.
Well, I think he saw that it wasn't actually his catch, technically.
Straight at first slip.
Baresi had it covered.
It should have been taken, but Wesley Baresi drops. Anil sat on 0. Big moment in the game, you sense. These are very, very helpful conditions. You just see there. Just look at the left of the screen here, Mel. You see that massive wet patch on the pitch that we used 2 days ago? I think the intention was always to use this surface for today's game. This is now the 3rd match on this hybrid surface. Both are hybrid surfaces. They can take the volume of cricket. There's no issue. But that will be a concern for 2 days' time, that wet patch. They might have to play a 4th out of 6 games. The initial plan would have been 3 on each. But, yeah, it's very heavy, isn't it? It looks right around a left-hander's good length, or a full length.
I'm trying to work out how one particular patch gets so much wetter than
I think
the
it got
rest.
in underneath the covers because they have both roll-on and sheeted covers here. But it was a heavy, almost like a full day of rain yesterday. 6 overs bowled, 23 for 1. And the Dutch are saying, well, how's it not 22 for 2? Yeah, from email as well. High standards. Well bowled again, Van Meekeren.
Seems to just take Van Meekeren a few to ticking over, but he's certainly found his length now. His line has been sorted.
Down the leg side this time. Sa looks a bit at sea out there, doesn't he? Lateral movement, bit of extra bounce from Van Meekeren. I don't want to say it's a case of when rather than if he gets out, but he's got to find a way to get through this really difficult phase.
Yeah, well, with each dot ball, that pressure's just mounting. Knowing that he's just come back into the side, he's probably got a whole lot of things on his mind. As you say, difficult coming in and trying to make an impact in the last game. If he can just find a way to get the single even.
That was at a catchable height again, wasn't it? But wide of the gully fielder. It's actually a backward point, excuse me, Zach Lyon Cachet. If there was a gully in, might have been interesting. Gets a second single.
Actually missed that previous ball, was actually a wide from Van Meekeren. But he's creating just a few problems for Sa. Can he create them for Sharky? Sharky's already got an equal with Sa. Ooh, extra bounce.
Dramatic bounce. Yeah, Bim Sharkey was trying to channel his inner Joe Root there, wasn't he, to get it up and over. But this has really flown, hasn't it? Extra zip, much more like it, more pace from Van Meekeren.
Yeah, that extra pace. If it's going to be short, we've seen quite a few bowlers in this series not have the pace of Makerin, and when they've tried to bowl short, it's been really far too easy to put away, especially with the wind assistance. But that was a very good bouncer from Van Makerin.
Chipped in the air. It's a good shot. Brave shot as well. Because he easily could have just chipped this up to Kyle Klein. It's very long up to that corner, 77 metres, so they'll get an easy 3 as the running between the wickets continues to be good. For Nepal, it's very difficult, isn't it, to talk about what they would like as a total, as a target right now, because there's so much cricket to be played. But you'd think they're going to need it to get up to at least that 220, 240 sort of marker. Obviously couldn't get a lot more than that if they get in, but might not be the kind of day where you're going to need 300 as such.
Well, also it's that funny psychological difference, isn't it, about chasing, and that marker is there. It's so different having to set the marker yourself.
Edged and gone this time. We said it felt a little like a matter of time for Anil Shah, who just could never get settled at all. It's as easy a chance for Noah Cross at second slip as the one that Wesley Baresi put down. He holds on, and he will be getting a big pat on the back from Baresi in particular. Shah perishes for 2.
Again, just opens a face and fences it. Great diving catch. He took the gloves while the captain was out injured. A pretty handy player to have in there in the slip. So not too much damage done by the drop of Baresi, because Anil Shah departs for just 2. It was a pretty tortured innings all told, and Netherlands have their second.
Nepal in real trouble. They had a fantastic series. I think if they were offered from the ODI leg of this tour 2 wins from 4 at the start, they'd probably have taken it, given the calibre of the opposition and given the alien conditions, particularly if we knew what the conditions were going to be like that we've ended up with, because it's been at points close to freezing cold. There's been heavy winds. It's been incredibly difficult and adverse for all the players. But the fact that they got those 2 wins in the first 2 games and then came within touching distance. Many Nepal fans will say, well, we should have won. We needed, 16 to win off 15 balls. We had 3 wickets in hand. We had Sampal Kami flying. We should have got there. But in all reality, it was a miraculous comeback to even get close. But they're going to have to do it in a different way today. I said this morning it felt like a massive toss. Probably the biggest toss of the 5 games that we've seen so far, Mel. Oh, so nearly another. And Scott Edwards is going to be saying, why don't I have a gully in? I'm all over the opposition. There's no fluency at all from them. Why isn't there a third catcher in there? Would that have been straight to gully?
It certainly would have been close. I wonder if we'll see any change in the field. Yeah, look, Lenny. Someone coming into that gully position.
I don't think he is. I think
he keeps walking around.
He's staying at backward point.
Yeah. Well, he was walking backwards and forwards. I was waiting for him to settle.
Rohit Powell immediately into his work. He's a man for all seasons. As the skipper hasn't had the runs he would have liked so far on this tour, but he's certainly, from a technical perspective, alongside Asif Sheikh, who's been left out, probably the technically most correct player from a batting end for Nepal. Well, Sampal Kami actually is very classical as well, even though he's down at number 8 in the order when he plays. Remember, Kami, one of 3 changes today. Kami, Gulshan Jah and Asif Sheikh left out. 2 of those for injury reasons. We wish Sampal Kami's recovery from that fractured elbow. It's actually just a small fracture to a bone in the elbow rather than a fractured elbow as such. And Gulshan Jah missing out with a knee niggle. Nicely bowled by Klein, beats the outside edge. They're the 3 that have gone out. Bashir Ahmed, Nandan Yadav and Anil Shah, who's already departed into the team. He'll keep wickets later in the match in the second innings. Yeah, you do wonder, don't you, how are Nepal going to get through this? And is Vivian Kingma sitting on the sidelines going, if I'm not playing in these conditions, when am I going to play? A bizarre selection, isn't it? I'm not saying that Aryan Dutt doesn't deserve his spot, but surely you have got to pick an extra bowler in these conditions, extra seam bowler in these conditions.
Well, they're the sort of conditions certainly you look at. Your eyes tell you something, don't you? When there's lots of cloud around, there's been rain the previous day. It is unusual. I'd love to be able to ask the question why.
Flowing drive, but a fantastic stop. Outstanding. Who else would it be but the 40 years young Roelof van der Merwe?
Oh, he's a legend. What a legend. He's fantastic. It's another one, just every emotion on his face. I always worry that he's going to pop a vein in his forehead because he gets so emotional, throws his body. Not getting past me, he says.
Well, incredibly, that was to his weaker side as well. That was definitely 4-run save because it was a fluent piece of timing from Rowan Powell. Pressed forward nicely.
You immediately just look so good at the crease whenever he comes out. He adds a real sense of calmness, I feel. Often coming out when his side's in a bit of trouble.
Good leave. It's a big day for Rowan Powell. I'm not going to get into the detail of it too much, Mel, because I'll be honest, I'll use that word again, nonsense. There's great fanaticism in Nepal, but sometimes the passion spills over, and purely because of the defeat 2 days ago, there's been all sorts of calls on social media for a new captain. Madness, isn't it? 1-2 incredible games, come within touching distance of another win, and yeah, there's absolutely no chance that will be the case. Certainly anytime soon, I would expect. I think Stuart Law will want to settle into